Hussbus bus stop. JP Hussey here, owner of the Hussey Team Mortgage Advisors, with this week's Hussbus bus stop. Go Birds, but now let's go Phils. Baseball season, you can feel it out there. The weather's starting to get nice, at least around here in the Philly area. Birds won, now let's go Phils. So I'm all decked out today. Anyway, let's talk about some maybe common mistakes of current, future home buyers. Maybe tips, right? It could be tippy, and it could be ranty. I don't know. Let's see how it goes, because I just wing these things. Have an idea, and we go. So let's jump into it. All right, so I'm going to try and hit on three, all right? Because I know everyone's attention can be somewhere else. Here we go. So, got some things written down, though, all right? So one common mistake. Home buyers, they're looking on the internet, they're thinking this, they're thinking that. The mortgage world, real estate world, is a very fluid situation. Things are always changing. But one thing that's constant is as long as you qualify, remember, you can put down any amount of money you really want, right? Now, there's a minimum, okay, usually in the 3% range, but you can do even dollar figures. Like, this is why we ask budget. Like, how much money you want to spend? And let's really fine-tune it. Let's put down 4.287%. I even hate talking percentages because you're going to give us a number. Listen, we want to spend $40,000 for everything. Okay, now let's cut it up. You don't have to stay in the 3, 5, 10, 20%. I mean, that's the biggest misconception, right? You have to put 20% down. Yeah, if you don't want PMI, but PMI's not even that bad, but whatever. There's other videos on that, I'm sure, right? But that's a common mistake. And unfortunately, sometimes real estate agents think you have to put a certain amount down too. No. And I'm going to get to the third point here, right? But you can put down really whatever you want. So I want your mind to think, how much money do I want to use? Dollar figure. And let's cut that up to get the best possible payment, all right, without going over a budget of money out of pocket, all right? That's a mistake I see, and this is kind of a tip, right? Something you can do. All right, next one, right? Go with the flow, all right? People, a lot of times clients would say, hey, we need these documents, right? It's all right to question things, no doubt. But us over here in the mortgage world, we're not going to ask for something unless we need it. I would be a billionaire if I didn't have to ask for documents. I'd be like Oprah, right? Everyone gets a house. Everyone gets a house. Here's some money, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work like that, all right? So work as a team. Whatever documents we need, work on getting them. Ask the questions. Be respectful, all right? Everyone's a team here, right? We don't make money unless you close on a home, all right? So we don't want to throw out unnecessary documents. So what I say is, and this is good for your mental, all right? And to make it less chaotic, because it can be chaotic, go with the flow. I hate saying these words, but I guess do what you're told for the most part when you are getting money. Remember, someone's giving you money, right? Kind of go with the flow. If you don't want to go with the flow, then buy cash. But JP, I can't buy cash. Okay, well then you got to go with the flow if you want the money. All right, so that's a tip. Little ranty, all right? But it's things that I see that a lot of people shoot themselves in the foot. They waste time, and they have to eventually get it anyway. Never really lost that battle. Anyway, next one, all right? Whew. This is a big one, right? You want to get your finances straight, aka get pre-approved, work on your budget with a mortgage person that you trust, that knows what they're talking about, that has access to numbers everywhere, right? You want to get the finances straight before you go look at a house, all right? And this is for my real estate friends too, right? You want to refer back to the mortgage person to get numbers on a house. Because no fault to you, there's so many different things changing. Rates are changing, programs are changing, PMI's changing, depending on what we're putting down, the client's budget's changing, right? We know how the numbers are going to be. We're the ones that have to disclose the numbers legally and have to actually pay for differences if we under-disclose. Let us get the numbers. Don't look at a house before you have numbers. Any house. Before you might want to look at, but then send the address to your mortgage person. Let them work up the numbers. Don't let your real estate agent work up fine-tuned numbers. We're in a time where inflation is high. Everyone's trying to cut costs wherever they can. Like, go back to my first point, you don't need 3, 5, 10. You can do whatever you want. So you got to cut it up with someone that's actually doing the financing. This is no fault to the real estate agents. because they just don't have access to what we have access. And I don't have access to some things that they have access to. The number side, you got to leave it to the mortgage person. Obviously, if that mortgage person is someone you trust, you can get a general idea from a real estate agent, right? But that's really an old school mentality. That's something that where a lot of time is wasted. And sometimes a real estate agent shows numbers and clients like that's too high, where a mortgage guy might be able to figure out to get it within that budget. So use your mortgage person for the numbers. This is to real estate agents, clients out there, all right? Get the numbers straight, then go look at the house. You're doing it reverse, and you're making it chaotic, and you're not being efficient. And in this market, you have to be efficient to get that house that you want. All right? So I hope this helped. Questions, let me know. Happy to talk on it. But these are things that we're seeing, mistakes, tips, rants, right, that we're seeing right now. And the people that go with the flow get the home. Just makes sense. Later. Hussbus bus stop.